news is always in the palm of our hands. You are minding your business, your notifications can be giving you high blood pressure. It's 3 p.m. in Lincoln, Portugal, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Laraddiji's Lincoln. My name is Laraddiji. I'm a Nigerian-American lifestyle vlogger who loves living a peaceful life, and I love talking about situations we might find ourselves in that needs peaceful endings. It's the freestyle section of this channel, First Save That Life, and in this section, I usually talk about topics in terms of health, food, diet, and exercise. So today we're going to be talking about hypertension under the umbrella of living a peaceful life. If we're going to live a peaceful life, it is very important that we focus on our health, especially in living a peaceful life in this chaotic world. It is very important that we eat healthy foods, healthy diets, and we also follow a healthy exercise plan, right? So today we're focusing on hypertension. Some people call it high blood pressure. I'm just going to be going over very simply in a layman terms what high blood pressure or hypertension is. Hypertension is blood pressure that is above normal limits. The normal blood pressure that we're supposed to have is 120/80 as an adult. The number is different for little kids. We start checking blood pressures, I think between 3 to 5 years old. They'll start checking the blood pressures of little kids and start monitoring them. If the blood pressure goes high, then we can start, figuring out what to do with diet or exercise and so on and so forth. So today we're going to be going over the basics of hypertension or high blood pressure.
3 o'clock.
Okay, so for normal adults, it's 120/80. There are different stages of hypertension depending on how high the number is getting. Yeah, so blood pressure is actually the force of your blood pushing against the walls of your arteries. So I like to, when I take care of my patients, I like to explain it in this way. If your sink, the pipe of your sink, right? If water is gushing into the pipes of your sink, let's say a brand new sink, the water is going to flow easily, very easy, no problems. So the blood pressure, the sink pressure will be normal. The pressure will be good because it's normal. There's no issues going on. It's a brand new sink. The pipes, there's nothing in the pipes that's disturbing the flow of blood through that pipe. Now, let's say over the years, you've been dumping oily stuff in there. You've been dumping greasy stuff in there, and you're not washing it out. You're not cleaning it out with, let's say, warm water, because usually warm water will dilute it and it'll go away, or soap and things like that. So over the years, as that sink starts, the pipe of the sink starts getting old, the water is not going to be flowing easy as it was in the beginning. That's how it is with, let's say, a newborn baby's blood pressure compared to an adult's blood pressure. It's going to be very different. As we age, there are so many things happening to the vessels in our blood system, in our circulatory system. There's so many things going on. They are getting old as well. And if you have been eating a lot of healthy foods, that will impact positively on your arteries, the blood vessels. But if you have been eating poorly, let's say you've been eating a lot of greasy foods, a lot of unhealthy foods, a lot of fried foods, in an unhealthy manner, then the blood vessels that are supposed to be carrying blood all through our body system will start getting clogged with, they call it lipids. The cholesterol starts getting stored in the arteries. It's the yellow stuff that gets deposited on the arteries. So if this is a clean pipe before, and the grease is starting to deposit in it, let's say the diameter of this little ballpoint pen is 2 millimeters. Because I've been pouring oil, and then it sits there, I pour more oil, it sits there. After a while, if I pour water in it, it's going to be sluggish. And at a certain time, it can get clogged. The oil will be too much that it just stops. And if you've seen oil sitting in one place before, you'll see that it solidifies. When it's cool, it solidifies. So if a if an adult is not is eating unhealthy foods, you are not exercising to move things around in your body, you are not doing a lot of activity to melt those things away and keep the heart pumping, then that can happen with the blood vessels in the entire system, right? In the entire circulatory system, in the blood vessels start getting harder. They start getting, they're supposed to be elastic and moving. After a while, they start getting stiff. They are not moving around. That's when the blood pressure starts going higher and higher. That's the pressure. The heart is the pump. And I also like to explain it like a car, with your engine. If you have good engine oil, then the oil is going to circulate very easily in the car system. But if the oil is bad, or let's say during the winter, it's getting more stiff and things are not moving around as much, that's when your car starts having trouble. You start it doesn't want to start because the engine is having trouble pushing all those oil around in the system. That's exactly what's happening in our heart. So our heart is the engine of the circulatory system, and when we engage in activities that's not healthy, then our blood vessels start getting clogged. Then it becomes harder for the heart to push the blood all around the heart. They'll check your blood pressure at the doctor's office and they'll tell you, all right, your blood pressure is 110/70. When we are young, everything is nice and good, right? Everything works the way it's supposed to work, right? And then as we get older, things start slowing down, and you are still eating like a young person. And that's when the numbers start going up little by little. 130/80, 130/90, and then it can go up to 140/80, 140/90, 140/100. That's the pressure at which the heart is pumping the blood through your blood vessels. And then if it starts going up 150/80, 160, especially the top number, 190, then the force, like the heart is really pushing and pushing, and the blood is not flowing because the diameter of the vessels, of the opening in the vessels, is so tight. So it's like I'm squeezing a lot of fluid to go in through a tiny hole. And a couple of things can happen, right? A couple of things can happen. One, the blood vessel can get clogged completely. And where this can be an issue are three main organs. One, in the brain. If any blood vessel in the brain is so clogged that blood is not going through, then it can burst, right? If the blood pressure is too high, that's why they always say high blood pressure can lead to a stroke. A stroke is a brain attack, and brain attack basically means that a vessel in your brain has popped because the pressure is just too much and there's nowhere for the pressure to go. It's like a balloon. You keep blowing the balloon, keep blowing the balloon, keep blowing the balloon. After a while, the balloon stops expanding because there's nowhere else for the air to go. And then what happens? It pops. That's exactly what's going on in the brain with the stroke. You're pumping the blood, the blood is being pumped, but the vessel is so tight that if it pops, that's when wherever that attack happened, or that blood vessel has popped open where there's a bleed now in the brain, whatever that area of the brain is supposed to be controlling in the body, then that side that gets damaged, and if not immediately taken care of, can cause permanent damage. So let's say the stroke happened in the area of the brain where your talking is controlled. Then you notice that, let's say if the person was talking, the person will just stop talking. They'll be trying to talk, but nothing's going to come out. Or let's say if the area is where it's controlling the right hand, you see that the right hand will just go numb, and the hand will not be able to be moving because the area that's been affected is where that bleed has happened, the stroke. Or let's say it's the part of the brain that controls the movement of the leg. So the leg can go numb as well, and it's not going to move. And if that's not quickly taken care of by going to the hospital, and they call it evacuation, they go into the brain, take out the blood, and then you start doing physical therapy. If that's not taken care of, then that side can be permanently damaged for life, and you can't regain those parts back. If that attack happened in the heart, right? The heart is pumping. There are about 3 to 4 main vessels of the heart that actually feeds the heart muscle itself. If any of that heart attack happens in the heart vessels, that's what we call a heart attack, because the blood is trying to flow, but the blood is not flowing through one of the vessels. Sometimes it's 2 of the vessels, sometimes it's 3 of the vessels, and sometimes it's 4 of the or multiple, basically. So that's when let's say the classic sign, somebody is talking to you, or maybe they have high blood pressure, or they didn't even know it, and it's been high, and then they have something that stressed them. And let's somebody, especially men, right, they'll go, I thought I told you to, and then they'll go, That's a heart attack happening. The blood vessel, because they are so upset or angry, that's sometimes how it happens. They are so angry, the heart is stressed out and it's pumping, boom, 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 boom. I mean, the vessels already have issues, but because of that stress, they're trying to force themselves to talk and scream and shout. It's trying to pump blood into that vessel that it pops, causing injury to the heart muscle. Basically, the person will say, my chest hurts, chest pain. You start having jaw pain because the pain is radiating to the jaw and it's going to the left arm. That's when you know it's time to go to the hospital so that you can get that taken care of immediately. If this attack happens in the kidney, that can cause kidney failure, where the kidney doesn't do what it's supposed to do and filter out all those toxins out of our system. Yes, so it can cause kidney failure as well. So those are the 3 main important things. If the blood pressure goes high, those attacks can happen. So I'm going to go over quickly the causes of high blood pressure. Smoking is a big number 1. Smoking, people that smoke, I call it, it's like you're barbecuing your insides, basically, because the smoke actually, so going back to the blood vessel, when you smoke, it actually constricts. It's like you are choking your blood vessels, and that can be choking the blood vessels in your brain, it can be choking the blood vessels in your heart, and it can be choking the blood vessels in your kidneys. So smoking definitely is a big cause of high blood pressure that can lead to those complications that I've talked about. So smoking, being overweight. According to my BMI now, I'm overweight, and I'm working so hard, even though it seems as if I'm not trying, but I'm working so hard on losing weight so I can come back to a normal body mass index. If you don't know what that means, please do Google it out and check your BMI. It's according to your height and your weight. So for your height, you should be this amount of weight. If you are this short, you shouldn't be, over a certain amount of number, because then that can put you at a high risk for high blood pressure or hypertension and other diseases. Overweight, if you eat too much salt, if you drink too much alcohol, if you are stressed all the time, old age, as we age, there's nothing you can change about that one, and genetics can also cause high blood pressure. So if your parents, your grandparents had issues with high blood pressure, or they had complications of high blood pressure, then there's a chance that you also might have that genetic disposition that you will have high blood pressure as well. So the symptoms of high blood pressure are severe headaches. I mean, when you're having severe headaches that doesn't go away, that I feel like that is already too late. If you can't do quarterly checkups, definitely do yearly checkups. I'm overdue for mine. I need to go see my doctor. But if you have the opportunity to get your own blood pressure machine, it is very important. I think everybody should have one at home. Always check your blood pressure and keep track of it. So severe headaches is the symptoms. Vision problems, I feel like these symptoms are this is like you are at the door of emergency. Severe headaches, vision problems, chest pain, irregular heartbeat. The heart is supposed to be going boom 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 boom, but it's going boom 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 boom. It's irregular. It's time to see a doctor. If you are seeing blood in your urine, that means something is going down with the kidneys. Anxiety, stress, pounding ears, or you feel pounding in your chest and in your neck. The veins in your neck are bigger than what they're supposed to be. Time to go to the doctor or a cardiologist or something and get checked out. The treatment for high blood pressure, is based on the causes. If you know what is causing high blood pressure, then you want to stay away from those things that is causing high blood pressure. So if you are smoking, you want to quit smoking. If you are overweight, you want to start working towards losing weight and maintaining a healthy weight. If you eat too much salt before, you have to reduce the salt, or you can follow what they call a DASH diet. That helps to reduce your salt content. If you are the type that drink too much alcohol, it's time to reduce it or stop it. If you are highly stressed, it's time to focus on interventions that can help you reduce your stress. Maybe it's a certain person, every time they come with bad news. You want to stay away from that person so they will not get your blood pressure high. And especially in this day and age where news is always in the palm of our hands, you are minding your business, your information is popping on your notifications. Your notifications can be giving you high blood pressure. So you find ways to reduce your stress level. If it's to wake up early, if it's to remove notifications from news so you don't get bad news early in the morning, things that can reduce your stress, definitely do them. And also, if you have done all this and it's not helping, then it's time to see your cardiologist to give you medications to assist you in what you are already doing to lower your blood pressure. You lower your blood pressure, then you lower your chances of knocking on heaven's door before your time. Complications. So I think I've already mentioned some of them. The complications of high blood pressure or hypertension, if you don't take care of it quickly, right? If you don't take care of it in a timely manner, then things can happen just like your car. If you don't take care of that clankety noise that keeps happening, then one day the car will just say, I'm not going anymore, right? That makes sense? So that's exactly what this means. Complications can happen if we ignore the signs, if we ignore the symptoms and say, oh, it's just headache. Oh, my hair has been doing that for years. It's time to get seen by a physician, a medical professional that knows what they're doing. All right, so complications definitely are heart attack, kidney disease, heart failure, where the heart is so tired, like the heart is expanding to compensate for the blood pressure, that after a while, it's even when it's working, it's as if it's not working. And that's what we call it can affect the ejection fraction of the heart. The ejection, let's say in the beginning, the heart is able to pump out at least 80% of the blood in your heart. After a while, it has been so stressed out that to pump out 30 to 40% of the blood in your heart, it's now a chore. The person will be very tired because the heart is just, and complications, can happen when the heart is not able to pump out all those blood. That's when heart failure sets in. Blood clots can start forming in the heart, and it's a whole mess, just like your car. I feel like we are a living car, right? If you don't take care of your car, you don't change up your engine oil every so often, the engine is going to die at one time. Then they will say your engine has knocked, and now you need a whole new engine. If your heart knocks, where are you going to get a new heart? Yes, there's money to get heart transplant, but the stress of getting that, you don't want to add it upon the stress that you're having already. All right, so heart failure, stroke, I've already talked about stroke, kidney failure, vision loss, because the blood vessels in our eyes can be affected as well. So if that's affected, then you're gonna have trouble seeing, blurry vision, glaucoma, because of the high pressure. All those things can set in. All right, so those are the complications of hypertension, high blood pressure, if not taken care of in a timely manner. And I wrote here, we'll all die one day, right? But when will it ever be cool to actually smoke yourself to death, or to barbecue yourself to death, or to put fire on yourself? It's never going to be cool to burn yourself intentionally. So it is not cool ever to smoke. Some people think it's cool to smoke, and there's the addiction part of it. So definitely speak with your physician on how you can quit smoking in a safe manner, that you don't shock your body, that you just quit cold turkey. You want to do it in a safe and healthy manner, so that you can live longer and accomplish more of what God wants you to accomplish in your life. All right, I think I'm gonna stop right here, you guys. If you are new to Limprim, living in peace to resting in peace, and you want to join us Limprimpers, definitely hit the subscribe button in the right lower corner of your screen and click the subscribe button. Join us. We are peaceful people on this channel and in this family. We would love for you to join us. And this is Laraddiji signing out. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Limprim. So do check me out and follow me if you'd like to do so. At the end of the day, let's love our neighbors as ourselves. And remember to rest in peace. We all need to be living in peace. Stay blessed. Bye. You see me in my next one. You see me in my next one. See me in my next one. You see me in